What's good? What's good? What's good? All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We back talking this boxing. We're going to have a short but fun live stream today, dog, because, man, I got some information I want to share with y'all. I did a video about it, but I want to share some information about you, dog, with y'all. Man, I'm so disappointed in some people, man. I'm so disappointed that you guys out here running these scams. And I found out who you're running the scam for. And the fact that you ran the scam for these people, now I know why you thought you could get away with shit forever and ever. Now I see why y'all thought you was untouchable and that you didn't think that anybody could ever do anything to you. Man, y'all guys out here running honeypots for MSAD, bro. That's what I heard. I heard you guys are running honeypots for the MSAD. That's what I heard. What's up, Kentrell? You guys are stupid. And I'm going to have a good time talking to y'all today, man. I'm going to have a really fun time talking to y'all today. Boy, I see why you guys think that you're going to continue to lie and lie and lie and lie. I see why you now think that anything that you can say can be fixed. Now I see why you think that you're just going to do shit boldly in people's faces and nothing will ever happen to you. Dog, I get you. Now I see. Man, you guys made a huge mistake. I mean, and it's funny because the mistake that you made, most people would make that mistake. I can understand you got suckered into a position with people that you thought were invincible. They're not invincible. They're not invincible. So anyway, let me get into this because I'm going to tell you guys, hopefully we can raise some money today on this Super Chat Thursday. But I don't want to do a lot of interaction, man, because I understand a lot now. So somebody told me that in the United States, that they discovered a series of honeypots. Honeypots. Does anybody know what a honeypot is? A honeypot is a woman that you send at a man to proposition the man, get in a relationship with the man. But the entire time that she's in a relationship with the man, she's taking instructions from somebody else. Kind of like, you know how a pimp will send a girl to you and you think you fall in love with the girl, but really the girl works for the pimp? Yeah, you guys are out here playing around a lot, man. And the reason that my understanding is that the reason that Gervonta Davis is not going to jail is because they did a very, very good job of exposing at a very high level a series of honeypots being set up against people inside an industry that the MSAD, this is what I'm being told, the MSAD is trying to take over. The MSAD. A series of honeypots. And I was told this in the context of Gervonta Davis. And why is this? Because you guys have brought in well over $2 billion through the boxing industry. You guys have brought in well over $2 billion through boxing in the last several years. $2 billion you ran through at Matchroom and $1 billion more with Turkey Al-Sheikh. And you guys want that money to go to specific people for specific things. And if somebody's outside that program, you don't want that money going to them. So you contrive allegations, you contrive media campaigns, you contrive behind the scenes attacks on individuals, setting them up with girls that make accusations about them, trying to get people put out of their jobs. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You guys were really, really playing with the heavy hitters. No wonder a certain YouTube channel said that they have trillions of dollars to drop into boxing. because that's what he's told to say by them. Man, you guys are in a lot of trouble, man. I'm telling you, that's last time I checked, that's called treason. Last time I checked, that's treason. You have to register you can't be an agent of a foreign nation without registering for that. Any less than you can be a boxing manager and a matchmaker without registering for that. You cannot be on the payroll of the MSAD and not disclose that. Oh, you guys are in a lot of trouble, man. Oh, you guys are in a lot of trouble. When I find out, I mean, God dog, this shit is so much bigger than Gervonta, it's not even funny. But you guys tried that shit on Gervonta. Yes, you did. That's what I was told, and that's what I'm saying. That's what people are telling me. They're like, "Doe, the reason that ain't nobody really tripping is because they already knew what they did. They had all the information. They had all the cell phone records. They have all the information necessary to prove that this man was set up. And that's why they said that they were going to release a video with all the information. Oh, I love this guy. You guys are playing really dirty, man. You guys are really, 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 really in trouble, dog. Because seriously, man. Wow. And I just wanted to tell you, I'm telling you exactly what I heard. I heard that the money that is coming into boxing is primarily Israeli. That is their program to try to infiltrate it's part of their program to try to monitor the black community and the sports and the entertainment that they watch. And that they, with the people in the United States that wanted to make the money and all of that stuff, they coordinate this stuff. That's why you're shutting everything down and trying to run off to the left. Anyway, man, I just wanted to let you guys, I'm going to talk about this because it's so, for somebody to say to me that they know the reason that Gervonta Davis is not convicted and the reason that they let him slide on this stuff, even if Gervonta Davis himself didn't know it, is because they know what happened with him. They also know that it's happened with several other people, where you surrounded them with news reports, with accusations. You guys have been running the same playbook on a lot of different people. And they've watched you run the same playbook on a lot of different people. So you got caught. And now you guys are breaking all this shit up. That's what you're doing. You're breaking it up because this is a major, major issue. You cannot have spies in the boxing world. You can't. As an excuse to come in and out of the country. Let me tell you, bro, it's getting get ugly. That's why Tyson Fury's not been able to come back to the United States. Have you noticed that Tyson Fury has not come back to the United States since he left? There's certain YouTubers that had to leave the United States that have not been back to the United States. A very prominent black YouTuber is not able to return to the United States. Oh, I love it, man. I love it. I'm so happy because now we know what you guys was on, bro. What up, Gabe Toss? What up on the money line, Mr. Mileage? Thrill to life. What's up, man? I got you that wrench. Barbara D, good morning. Good morning. Kentrell, what's up? Thrill to life. I got that. Marcus the villain. I got that. I got his wrench. Shout out to everybody. $20 Phenomenal Noob said, what the hell did I just walk into? Oh, Phenomenal Noob. Guess what somebody told me about Gervonta Davis and why Gervonta Davis, everybody backed off Gervonta. Let me tell you why they said everybody backed off. Not just the fact that the criminal stuff that's going on, but the fact that you have people that are now actively talking about Gervonta Davis coming back into the boxing world. Bro, that shit is because these dudes got busted. They got busted. Busted. Bro, you can't run those games you can't run those games at certain people. You can't. You guys are idiots and you guys are in trouble and a lot of you niggas are indicted. I already knew you guys were indicted, but nigga, I did not know that these people are looking at you niggas seriously for being an unregistered agent of a foreign country. Dog, that's a serious fucking charge, bro. If you're walking around in the United States doing business with people and you're claiming you're from the United States, but you're really with a foreign national government and you're really representing the interests of a foreign government in your business dealings, you have to register as an agent for a foreign agent. You have to. What you're doing is completely illegal. And you're bringing in boxers. You're bringing in people from outside the United States to fund it. Oh, you guys are fucked in such a major way, bro. Like, what's going on with you all is it makes the Ricos, it makes that shit pale in comparison, bro. It pales in comparison, bro, to the shit you guys got caught doing. Like, seriously, it pales in comparison. And no, this shit will never make the newspaper. This shit pales in comparison to the RICO charges, to the things with Puffy Combs. Oh, Puffy Combs is doing is nothing compared to this. Dude, if they found out that Puffy Combs was literally doing business with the MSAD and was literally taking orders from them and going by their playbook in exchange for money, bro, you're going to not just go to jail, bro. Oh, my God. You guys are in such trouble, bro. I'm telling you, bro, you guys need to leave these people alone. I mean it. If you're anywhere around these people, you need to leave these people alone, bro. Dog, they ran a honeypot. They're out here running honeypots on people, sending girls to people in order to record them, to get information on them, and then bribing their wives, bribing their girlfriends, passing the information along to cause beef and problems in people's lives. You're out here antagonizing Jermel Charlo's family. You're out here doing all this kind of stuff to try to make your competitors unstable so that you can take advantage of the multi-billion dollars that they're moving through the sport. Because you don't want those multi-billion dollars to go over here. You want those multi-billion dollars to go over there. So the multi-billion dollar people say, look, how can we keep this money from going over here? How can we keep the money going over here? Oh, what do? We are going to attack our competitors. We're going to try to shut down the WBO. We're going to try to shut down the WBA, the WBC, the IBF. We're also going to try to shut down the PBC. But who are we going to let ride? We're going to let DAZN ride. We're going to let Frank Warren ride. We're going to let Eddie Hearn ride while they come in and stake all of the United States fighters. And they're the ones that make the money and not anybody in the United States. Despite that, all of the fact that all of the money itself is being generated from people in the United States. And you've used this money to fund, watch this. You use this money. This is what I'm told. They suspect that you are using this money to fund militias. It's like Iran Contra, but with boxing. It's like Iran Contra, but with boxing. You take the money and you funnel the money through to militias to destabilize countries. And the $2 billion, $3 billion you should spend in boxing was funneled through boxing for that purpose. To destabilize governments, because you are exporting the money from the United States and using it the same way they sold crack into LA, and then they used the money in the crack that they were selling to LA to move all that money and do what they were doing with the Sandinistas and all of that. This is what they're telling me is going on in boxing. This is why Turki Al-Sheikh is claiming that he is spending all these billions of dollars and he has all this money from the military budget of the public investment fund. Of Saudi Arabia. The military budget is what is spending the money from Saudi Arabia, because the PIF, that's the money. But the sports and entertainment, Turki Al-Sheikh is a military man from Saudi Arabia. So you took Saudi Arabian military money and washed it through boxing. That's what you claim. No, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. Like, dude, you're in such trouble, it's never going to hit the newspaper. I just want to let you know it's over with. I just wanted you to know. Bro, you guys are in so much fucking trouble that you don't know, you're not going to know what hit you, bro. When they found out that this was what was going on, they broke it up. You guys thought you were going to do that shit forever, bro. They said no more money. They said no more money. Because that's where the money's going. The money funnels right through. That's why all the boxers are broke. Where's these boxers with all this money? This $200, $300 million that they're getting. Where's the money going? If they're actually getting all that money, then why do they have to keep fighting? They're obviously not getting all that money, but the money is leaving. The money's not getting to the boxer, but the money's going somewhere. Oh, yeah, y'all in a lot of trouble. Y'all in a lot of trouble, bro. A lot of trouble. And I got that shit very high. Very, 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 very high. You're stealing the money from the people who you are trying to use their money to turn around and attack them. Yes, you are. You pumping their money. Oh, you guys are in so much trouble. You guys are pumping money out of trust funds, into hedge funds, into networks, into boxers, out of networks, out of countries, into militias, and the money moves over, and then all of a sudden you got all kind of stuff and drama taking place in other countries. Again, you guys have been running, this is what I'm told, you guys have been running an Iran Contra program through the sport of boxing. Instead of pumping billions of dollars of drugs through the black community, you're pumping billions of dollars of money through the boxing community. And you're dictating where the money goes. And if somebody is a fighter that is not on your side, that is a big name fighter, you're going to shut them down. You're not going to promote him. You're not going to raise him up because you don't want the money going to him because he's not playing the game with you. Where other fighters will play the game with you, where they will actually say, okay, we've been dealing with Daniel Kinahan for a long time. We understand when we take some of this money, but a lot of that money goes away. Oh, I love it, man. I'm not going to talk too long today. Dog, y'all in so much trouble. Y'all are in so much trouble, bro. Like I'm telling you, boxing and you don't think that you're in trouble, bro. Oh, Lord. Not all, hey, that's why they said not all money is good money. Not all money is good money. Not all money is good money. No, I don't want to be a part of this. Hey, said, I got a video I did TikTok regarding the same topic, Noop. I think you'll love it. They've been running the same play for a century. Yeah. Dog, I'm telling you, bro, that shit with Gervonta Davis is such a desperate move. No, it's not Daniel Kinahan. It's not Daniel Kinahan. No, it's not Daniel Kinahan. It's MSAD. That's what I was told. I was told it was MSAD. I don't know if that's true or not. I was told it was MSAD. I was not told that it had anything to do with Daniel Kinahan. I was told it was MSAD. That's what I was told. I heard it was MSAD. That's what they said. I can't verify whether it's true or not, but I heard it was, they think it's MSAD. It's a foreign country. It's a foreign country. And they recruited people through Black Americans they gave a lot of money to. Flying you back and forth from here to there on private jets, paying you $50 million for a fight you know full well you're not selling any tickets for. Come on, man. They wanted to put you guys up. Thank, bro. I appreciate you, man. Send that to me, man. Let me make sure I get these super chats. Thank you, bro. Hey, and my guy Infinite says, Super Chat Thursday, brother. Thank you so much, bro. Oh, y'all are fucked. Y'all are fucked. Oh, that's all I can say is you guys are, I mean, damn. No wonder you guys are jumping up here on my channel saying all kind of stupid shit and then turning around and then having beefs. Dog, you funny as hell, man. What the hell did I just walk into? And Jeep Red Boy, thank you for that support, bro. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you right now, all money ain't good money. Oh, dude, that's why they lie like that. That's why they always got somebody else to fill a slot. That's why these guys always do. That's what it's, they're done. You're just done. You're just done. Oh, you're done. Jesse Jackson's gone too. You're done. Jesse's gone too. Oh, you're done. The CBC, they're snitching like ain't nobody's business. Ever since they, I'm trying, man, hey, dog. Tank said he found out the girl was on that shit. He was going to talk about it in his documentary. Oh, I mean, for sure. I need to rewind. Seems I missed some fire. Oh, I'll tell you. Look, bro, I got friends, and somebody told me, under confidence, will not repeat it, that, bro, that this boxing, the conclusion to this boxing thing is that it is Iran Contra, except for with boxing. It's Iran Contra, except for with boxing. That's it. Instead of pouring $2 billion inside of the black community and pumping dope through the black community, right? Making a bunch of black people rich and then making a bunch of black people go to jail. Meanwhile, they ship the money off and they do what they want to do with it. That's what Iran Contra was. That's what Iran Contra was in the 80s. What they're doing now is Iran Contra, but with boxing. Instead of selling dope into the black community, they're stealing money from somebody, pumping it through the boxing community, and trying to use it for their political gains, bro. And then they take the money after it's laundered, and then they use it to destabilize other countries. They use it to fund operations in the United States. They do. They use it to fund operations in the United States that are counter to the government. That's why it's illegal. You cannot be on YouTube being from the United States and be an agent of Israel. You can't do it. You have to register as an agent of a foreign state. And if you're from the United States and you know where this money is going and bro, you're done. You're just done. That's why Al Heyman said all money ain't good money, and he's trying to set it, and he set it out. Now I'm going to tell you something. I want all of you niggas to heckle me now. Heckle me now. Where are you at heckling me? Heckle me now. Say something again. Right? You're not going to say anything. You know why you're not going to say anything? Because you're scared to death. For the fucking first time, you're really worried. For the first time, y'all are really, really worried. Because you thought you could get over on anything because you have so many connections. You think you're totally untouchable. That's why you think you're untouchable. But guess what just happened? They're touchable, so you're touchable. They proved. Bro, I don't care about showing you any proof. Get the fuck out of my face. Like I said, I'm not interested in showing you any proof. You're not a judge. You're not a judge, young man. You're not the judge. Like I said, you guys better be very, very fucking careful, bro. Because you don't go to jail for this type of shit, bro. You don't go to jail for this. You don't. They don't ever expose things like this. They don't. All they do is they just clean it up. That shit you clean up. That stuff does not go into the criminal justice system. That is international. That shit just gets cleaned up. That just gets cleaned up. But anyway, like they know, he said, your proof will come in time. Keep waiting. Oh, my proof is here. They bombed Israel. Dog, they bombed Israel to smithereens, bro. With missiles that they didn't even know Iran had. Let's talk politics for a second. Oh, they already found out. Because Israel got bombed. The shit bombed out of them. And they had a whole bunch of weapons that the U.S. didn't even know they had. Like missiles that light off into 15, 16 different little missiles. Dude, Israel is literally looking like Gaza right now. So do not tell me you're not touchable, because they touched the shit out of you. They touched the shit out of you. So only proof you need is that they touched the shit out you. You think that you can't get touched. I don't care if you believe me, you don't believe me, because you're never going to say you believe me. You already know what I'm saying is the truth. Bro, they already touched you. Very ugly. And they can touch you for the next 10 years without you being able to do anything about it. They've got to move. Watch this. They got to move a South Korean missile defense system to Israel to protect your ass. But guess what's going to happen when it gets there? They're going to blow that one up too. Because you're very touchable. And I've told you all that. You guys picked that side. I understand. You guys picked that side. You guys picked that side. That side lost. You were told that side was protected by God, and that side will never lose, and that side, that's what you were taught. And that was wrong, because you are absolutely getting snatched. Snatched the fuck up, because you're playing too many games with the deep state in the United States. You cannot play around with certain people. I don't give a fuck who you are. Man, this shit ain't mostly stack. This shit is 100% fact. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. You guys stuck your hands in the wrong pocket. And that guy and those guys sent and did you dirty. It's that simple. You guys can look at the headlines all you want. I'm just going to tell you what I heard. And what I've been telling you guys. You guys are stealing money from the wrong people. You thought it was an easy lick that they would never figure out. They figured it out. Once they figured it out, they cut your money off, and then they started investigating everything that you did when they were starting to recollect the money. When they recollected their money and started looking around for their money, they found all the people that had their money. And you better believe they got answers out of every single solitary person that has their money. You know what I'm saying? They have surveillance systems too. They've got satellites too. They've got spies too. They've got access to your bank too. They've got all the access that these other people have and more. So they looked and found out you guys did it and they stopped it, which is why Turkey al-Sheikh doesn't have any more money. That's why Turkey doesn't have money. Where's Turkey's money going to come from? Where's this $1 billion going to come from? You clearly had Saudi Arabia saying that they were the source of the money and saying we're just doing this to be world. No, you guys are mixing up and trying to take over people's countries, bro. No, that's not what you're doing with your money, Mohammed bin Salman. What you're doing with your money, Mohammed bin Salman, is you're pumping it through the United States. And this is my opinion. This is what I'm hearing. You're trying to double time the U.S. by coming in the United States and running a fucking Iran Contra through boxing. No fucking way, bro. Everybody knew it was a machine. We just didn't know what the machine was. Let me tell you what the machine is. It's Iran Contra, but with boxing. It's Iran Contra, but with boxing. That's it. And what they're doing now is they're trying to save it because they got caught. So they're trying to move everything into a system where they can't do it anymore. Because what are you going to get paid for boxing? Nothing. Think about the answer that got laid out. Dog, shut up, bro. Dog, I'm not talking to you, boy. Fucking beat it, dog. I'm not interested in you, homie. You make some loose connection, bro. I've been talking about this shit for years. I don't care if you fucking believe me, and I don't want to talk to you. There's nothing fucking to talk about. Here's the fucking fact. For no good reason whatsoever, there's been about $3 billion pumped through the sport of boxing. $3 billion that we know of. Over the last 4 years, there's been absolutely no return on investment for anybody for the $3 billion that got spent. That $3 billion that got spent was moved to people that spent that money with other people. $3 billion with absolutely no return on investment. All the money disappears. You've got a guy who was on trial for fucking with Floyd, and Floyd said he was down with these people. And Floyd, guy, just went to jail for getting $20 million out of from some Teamsters into a hedge fund, and he stole $20 million out of that hedge fund. Terrence Crawford offered $20 million to Errol Spence Jr. and $20 million for him for money coming out of a hedge fund. In the United States, I can point out at least $300 million that has come out of hedge funds for fights that have not returned any money whatsoever. No profit. No fucking profit. No fucking profit. $3 billion, no profit. And then they want to stop it all of a sudden. They want to stop it all of a sudden. They want to put boxing into a league where you know exactly how much money is paid to the fighters. And the only way you're going to make any significant amount of money is if you fight on a big Netflix card, which means they're also going to know where the money came from. They are taking all of that money out of DAZN because let me tell you, DAZN doesn't even want you to watch the fights. Let's be real about DAZN. DAZN doesn't even want Americans really to watch the fights. They charge you more money for pay-per-views than they do people in the UK. They stick it behind a $35 a month paywall and then another $35 a month paywall. They're not trying to grow the sport. They're trying to keep the sport as small as they can keep it. And at the same time, the money keeps getting bigger and bigger, and Eddie Hearn is a billionaire. How the fuck did Eddie Hearn and Anthony, listen to this. Eddie Hearn, if you know anything about the UK boxing, there's no fucking way a UK boxing promoter should ever become a billionaire. There's not enough money for it. Your boy, Frank Warren, is suing Turkey for $1 billion. Why is he paying $1 billion to Turkey Al-Sheikh? You guys lie and say that Tyson Fury is getting paid $150 million, $200 million a fight. Just to justify the money that's getting spent, knowing full well the money's not going there. I'm telling you right now, bro, you guys are just crooks. You're crooks in the US that are doing business with crooks over there. And that's what you're doing with the sport of boxing. And that's why no matter what Gervonta Davis does, it's always bad. And no matter what certain other people do, it's always good, even though it's the same thing. Even though it's the same thing. Shakur Stevenson on Monday can call Pitbull out, and it's great. On Friday, it can be announced that Gervonta Davis is fighting Pitbull, and it's the worst thing ever. You guys are making arguments consistently throughout the day that you don't even believe. No, what you're doing is trying to justify and make the story for why the money should be spent where you guys want it spent. Oh, you guys are in deep shit. I'm not Alex Jones, bro. I'm not Alex Jones. This ain't the Alex. What's the guy's name? Alex Jones? The guy that does all the, the guy that does all the government deep state. This ain't me. All right, you're not going to get these conversations from me on a regular basis. However, I guarantee you. Oh, say exactly. They get extra disrespectful if you're a Tank fan. Look, bro, y'all are fucked. I'm going to tell you before you know, because you guys are peons. Let me tell you what you guys are. Yeah, InfoWars. You guys are what you call peons. All right? So let me tell you what happens when you're a peon. When you're a peon, the urine comes from on top and just rolls over your head. All right? You don't know the pee has been let until that shit hits you in the head. You guys are peons, bro. You guys are what you call peons. You hear what I'm saying? So since you're peons, you won't know about this. You won't. However, dog, I think you already know what I'm saying is true about you guys being bots. I like Tank as a boxer. He's already convincingly beat. So the point is, so me see Gervonta Davis fight. That's the point. The point is for Gervonta Davis to get back in the ring because you guys said that he was never going to fight again. You guys said he was going to go to, first of all, you said he was going to retire. Then you said he's never going to fight again because you niggas tried to stick him in jail. Yeah, you did. First of all, you lied and said let me go back. Let me go back 4. First, you said that Lamont Roach, he should never even fight. He should say, why should you even fight Lamont Roach? Right? So he shouldn't have fought Lamont Roach. You didn't like that fight when that happened. You said, why should you even do that? We don't even want to see that. So, but guess what happened after you said, oh, that's not a good fight. We don't want to see it. It wound up being a very good fight. And all of a sudden, everybody wants to fight Lamont Roach. So, since yesterday it was Shakur wanted to fight Pitbull, and that's the same thing that happened with Pitbull. Gervonta wants to come back because guess what? He's not in jail. He's not in jail. And he's not retired. So I want to see him getting back in the ring against anybody. You know why? Because I listened to you guys for months tell me how he was retired and how he's never going to fight again, how you don't want to see him fight again. Let me tell you what you guys are doing. Let me tell you what all you clowns are doing. All you're doing is saying what people are telling you to say. You're selling your influence. But who are you selling your influence to? You're fucked because of who you sold your influence to. Yes, you are. And I can't wait, bro. Only bad thing is I don't get to see it myself. That's the only shit that I regret that I don't like. Is that I don't get to see it myself. I don't get to be the one to do it myself. I don't get to see the joy of your fucking world falling apart. You know what I'm saying? The only regret that I have is I know it, but I can't actually execute it. Other people are going to have to execute it. Other people are going to do it. But let me tell you right now, bro, you punks are not saying nothing about the fact that Turkey Al-Sheikh ain't got no money. You want to click the link? Where's the money coming from? Answer that question. Hey, said I 100% guarantee you, OG, that Tank. I'm sorry. I 100% guarantee you, OG, that Tank versus Pitbull Cruz will do better numbers than Devin and Rolly. Devin's not even going to fight Rolly, bro. Devin don't want to fight Rolly. Devin's a fraud. Devin is the #1 beneficiary of this bullshit. Him and Anthony Joshua. Dude, Devin fucking sucks, bro. I don't even want to see the dude fight, bro. I'm just going to tell you, they don't suck. He don't suck, but it's so choreographed, dog. It's so choreographed. Like every move is choreographed. Everything, man, get out of here. I don't believe Devin. Them shits look choreographed. I'm telling you, bro, I wouldn't put it past you motherfuckers to be choreographing fights. Now, and I'm going to say something that I ain't said before. Bro, sometimes y'all are coordinating fights. Sometimes y'all coordinate fights. I coordinate the fight. You guys are so dirty that you will pay somebody to throw a fight. It's been a long time since we heard about somebody agreeing. You remember when Teddy Atlas used to say this shit? Teddy Atlas said that people have these silent agreements that they're not going to hurt each other. Bro, Devin Haney, I'm telling you, dog, Devin Haney had a silent agreement with Brian Norman Jr. I am thoroughly convinced, and I'm just talking about because of the people involved, that there's a gentleman agreement in there with him. I don't believe anything about Devin. I don't. That's why his ass looked like dog shit when he got in there with Ryan, because Ryan wasn't playing along with the script. They thought Ryan, I'm telling you this shit, hey, bro, don't let this shit get to the point of you guys scripting things, because if you're scripting things, dude, you're definitely going to get going. Okay? If you're scripting fights. And I wouldn't put it past Devin to be scripting fights. I wouldn't put it past Bill to be scripting fights. I wouldn't. And by scripting, I mean, okay, you're going to fight me. I'm going to fight you. Okay, I'm going to win the fight. I'm going to drop you. Okay, and now we're going to pity pat and not hurt each other for 12 rounds. We'll make the money. I'll give you some money on the back. You know, shit like that. All you niggas. Yeah, you do. Hold on one second. I got to stop moving this thing. All right, man, I messed up my mic. I got to hold it now, which means I'm going to go on silent a lot. Hey, man, thank y'all for that support. Hey, 2 Cents said, better comeback fight, Ramirez or Pitbull? Oh, Pitbull. Pitbull. I don't care if you would sounds crazy. Oh, you sound crazy. I don't sound crazy at all, dog. Fuck off, nigga. Like, seriously, bro, I don't sound crazy at all. No, I don't. You guys know full well boxing is crooked. In every single solitary, somebody tells you how boxing is crooked. You want to act like somebody jumps up and says, oh, we're not crooked. Everybody in boxing knows boxing has a bunch of fucking crooks. Okay? Everybody knows it. Everybody knows the criminal element in boxing has been deep. That's why you guys, every other fucking fight, say a fight got fixed. Every other fight, you say somebody bribed the judge, somebody bribed the referee. So you guys say that shit all the time. All the fucking time. But then when somebody says, oh, there's cheating in boxing, you guys get, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, how could you say there's cheating in boxing? There's no cheating in boxing until something happens you don't like. Oh, the referee was paid off. Oh, we need to check that judge, Adelaide Bird. Adelaide Bird was paid off. There's no way that scorecard should have been that way. Boxing is so corrupt. And then somebody you don't like says, hey, man, your guy cheated. No way. Where's your proof? No way. Where's your proof? You have no proof that Adelaide Bird was bribed for that 118, 110, 110 card. You have no proof. Where's your proof? You guys say boxing is dirty every fucking day. Every day you say boxing's crooked. You say Al Heyman's crooked. Don King is crooked. Bob Arum is crooked. Man, the trainers are crooked. These guys are people get popped dirty. You got Victor Conti of all people, is as crooked as you can get. And is literally the spokesperson for steroids in boxing, clean sports in boxing. But when somebody says boxing's crooked, oh no, how could you ever say that? What do you mean? Somebody threw a fight? Dude, you guys said that Ryan Garcia took Ostarine in order to cheat Devin Haney, but yet nobody else cheats. Anyway, man, like I said, bro, you guys are screwed. Okay, you guys are screwed, and you're screwed because they know what you're doing, and they're gonna watch everything that you do, bro. Just like you used to think you could lie and lie and lie. I used to wonder, how can this guy get 30,000, 50,000 views for lying? And he just keeps lying and he keeps getting the views. Who's buying your views? MSAD. Who's buying your views? MSAD. Who's trying? Hey, what do they do when they want to make somebody be the spokesman for black people? Oh, right. They give them a bunch of money and they make them rich and they put them on newspapers and they say that they're the best. So don't listen to these black people. Listen to these black people. Isn't that what they do? Oh, it's what they do. That's what you've been doing through the history of Black America. It's taking money and sticking it into the black community to build up the people you want built up in the black community and to shut down the people that you don't want built up in the black community. And sports is and entertainment is the most significant industry that there is for Black America. So you guys ran an op. You guys ran a fucking op. Yeah, you did. And you thought you were going to get clearance and you never got it. And because you know why? Because you're fucking with people that are above your pay grade. So you tried to scheme them and you got busted. And then after you got busted, the money got cut off and now you're screwed because everybody knows you're fake, bro. Nobody believes Blue Blood is an honest individual that cares about the sport of boxing, that is doing this every day for any other reason than to do what his bosses tell him to do. You guys know that. There's no really even reason to get mad at the guy. You guys know full well that Showbiz the Adults numbers were manufactured. You know it so much that once I started going off on the guy, they had to put him on DAZN so that they could explain why he was popular instead of buying a bunch of views and trying to push his agenda because they were going to give him 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 views. Dude, I want to tell you something. This guy, Showbiz the Adults numbers were rivaling Stephen A. Smith's. I'm telling you, if you look at the numbers, they were rivaling Stephen A. Smith. This guy is doing 200,000 views a day. Stephen A. Smith only does 500,000 and he's on fucking ESPN. How the hell is that popping off on a YouTube channel? Very obviously. Why is the YouTube channel telling you that they got $1 trillion to come into boxing? $1 trillion. 6,000 concurrent viewers. That's why I'm saying, dude, look, Stephen A. Smith could have covered that fucking Jai Opetaia fight and not had 6,000 concurrent viewers. No. And once we exposed it, just like when I exposed Bill Haney, because there's other people remember when I exposed Bill Haney for doing it. Bill Haney put up an Instagram post with Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. And dude, no lie, that shit had been posted for 20 minutes. And it had 83,000 likes. 83,000 likes, not views, 83,000 likes in 20 minutes. By the time it got to 40 minutes, the shit was like at 140,000 likes. 140,000 inside of an hour and a half for a post from Devin Haney. It's only $600 for 600. No, it's no. That's just not even worth it, though. Yeah, okay, thank you for your commercial. I didn't say he's bigger than me. He ain't bigger than me. He ain't bigger than me. Not at all. Not even remotely close. Bro, I'm bigger than Fanon. Stupid. No, you may be bigger than Fanon. You're not bigger than Martin. Idiot. You may be bigger than Fanon. You not bigger than Martin Blackwell. Fool. I'm Martin Blackwell, idiot. You not bigger than me. You not even in the same league as me, dog. You in the same league as Fanon. When you sit around here talking about boxing, you in the same league as him. If I got to refer to myself as different people, you can be as big. You can be as big as Fanon. You ain't as big as me. And you ain't never going to be as big as me, bro. Never even close. Not even in the same sport, little man. Not even in the same sport. You're not in the same league, homie. You're not in the same stratosphere, homie. Nobody knows you, nigga. Barack don't know you. They don't know you. Mayors don't know you. Presidents don't know you. Popes don't know you. They don't know you. They know me. They don't know you. I mean, you can say what you want to say. I don't give a fuck whether you believe me or not. You listening to me. How can you be listening to me, but yet talking? So like I said, you go back to your master, you gap-toothed fuck. Go back to your master and ask your master why everything you do fails. Go back to your master, because your master is a peon. Got me? You think you're bigger than Fanon International Boxing. Maybe. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for shit. I don't. I think you bought your views. And I think you bought your subscribers. That's what I think. I think you bought them. And I think you buy your views. That's what I think. Same thing I think about showbiz. I don't think you're legitimate at all. I don't. But even if you were, you're still not me. You're still not me. You better believe it. That's what I think. Anyway, Ancient Sage, you walked on getting kicked out is what you walked in on. Bro, I know a peon when I see a peon. You never see me in your live stream. Never. You never see me with a ghost account. Ever. You don't see me talking to people. You don't see me talking to people under aliases. You don't. Because I don't have to. You guys don't own the channels you're on. Let's be honest about why you have a burner account. You have a burner account because you don't own your own channel. That's why. Somebody else is the actual owner of your YouTube channel. And you are an employee of that person. So they will make sure that the channel that they own looks like it's doing well. But you don't own it. So let's not act like ESPN is owned by Stephen A. Smith. It's not. Okay? Stephen A. Smith does not own ESPN any more than the nigga whose name is Showbiz probably, this is my opinion, owns his own. Because why would they invest all that money into some shit that they don't own? I get offers to buy my Instagram channel all the time. I've got 40,000 subscribers on Instagram, and I get emails all the time asking people to buy my Instagram page. I've had interest. I know people have had interest in people buying their Twitter page. I know people that had their YouTube page bought, and they had to stay on the YouTube page after their YouTube page was bought. So let's just tell you, I know you're frauds. I know you're frauds. You guys got in there by yourself and you worked and then you got bought out. And after that, you could do your job full time every day. You don't have to worry about views. You don't have to worry about super chats. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. Because they bought you. And you were auditioning to get bought the entire time. All kind of businesses do that. They audition to get purchased. How much would it cost me to sell this business and I'm going to stay here and I'm going to work for you? You guys did that a couple years ago. I'm not stupid. Bill Haney told me over the phone that he owned your channels. That's what he said. And I said, you don't own my channel. I had that conversation with Bill Haney, and if I'm lying, I'm frying. So you guys are just working for somebody, getting up, doing a job, trying to ruin somebody else's business. Bro, you're on YouTube, fool. Beat it, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear this shit you talking about, you clowns. None of this shit works, man. Anyway, I'm real. Yes, that nigga told me he owned the LDBC, owned it. Because I said, look, bro, the only reason that I helped anybody with this Gary Russell Jr. shit was a favor to the LDBC. That was the only reason I got involved in it at all. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been involved in it. I didn't ask for any money. I didn't ask for any favors. I didn't want to interview with anybody. I just said, if you're having a problem solving this problem, I helped them solve a problem. And that's all I did. And that idiot got on the phone with me telling me that he owned me. Telling me that he owned me. And bro, that LDBC is a hashtag is what I told him. I said, bro, that's a hashtag. You don't own my channel if you own a hashtag. And I never use the hashtag again. So this idiot creates this fucking story that everybody kicked me out for whatever fucking reason. When the truth of the matter was, I wouldn't toe the line for them. I wouldn't do it because I'm not for sale. That's the truth. That's what the fuck happened. That's why I know he owns you niggas. Literally. Literally. So don't tell me you're you're supposed to. Bill, who knows how many YouTube channels Bill actually owns? and the guys are going to stop doing it if he doesn't pay. So let's stop acting like y'all niggas doing this international business. Don't run into spies. You niggas run into international business interests. You served as a front man for some shit you were trying to do to people in America. The shit fucking failed, and now you're fucking fried. Okay? Bill, you paid above your fucking pay grade. You got over on it for a little fucking while, and now you guys are fucked. Like, seriously, bro. We don't have to pretend like we don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. I was the one that was propositioned. I was the one that was attacked. Did not do shit to nobody, but all of a sudden a storm of people got a problem with me. I didn't do shit to Southpaw. All of a sudden, Southpaw got some big fucking issue with me. I ain't never done shit to these dudes. But when it's time, when that button gets pressed, off they go. Also, let's talk about this honeypot shit. Bro, if you guys try to send another woman at another man for the purpose of trying to ruin that man's life, bro, that's why you guys can't win. Anyway, let's get back to because I'm not going to talk a long time today. And if y'all want to support, please support. I would appreciate it. Because like I said, I know this video is going to get demonetized. You want to know the connect the dots that these people refuse to connect? I'm going to connect all the dots for you. All the dots for you. The entertainment industry in the United States is the way that you control Black Americans. The number one worldwide industry of Black Americans is entertainment. Whether it is boxing, whether it is music, those are the people that are always put up there. We get to sing, we get to dance, we get to fight. But you know what we get to do? In the sports business, we get to do the sports. They get to do the business. See what I'm saying? So since you're the product and they're the business, they need something to a go-between. That go-between is what you call a sellout Negro. That sellout Negro will get elevated in the eyes of all Black people. Why? Because he has a steady source of income coming from them. And since they have that steady income and they can show that money, you start looking at them. Look at Blue Blood, for example. This dude was literally doing his show inside of a I don't know if he was a janitor or some shit. But anyway, he was probably never a janitor. Whatever. Same way Claymore Rain was never a truck driver. You know what I'm saying? He was never a truck driver, but miraculously, the dude turns into having his own studio in his house, does appearances on The Boxing Voice. All of a sudden, get out of here. And then all of a sudden, Blue Blood gets his live stream shut down. Not shut down. Like, why don't you do live streams no more, bro? Because they said that shit ain't working. Boop. Anyway, dog, you guys are trying to pull levers and you're trying to be dog, yeah, BF, for sure. Look, man, these guys try to trap you to say different things. They try to get you on tape. Like, bro, everything that I've ever said has been on tape. I don't care if you got me on tape. Dog, anything that I've ever said has been on tape, bro. I've been living in this world, dog. I've been living in the surveillance state. Y'all are new to this shit. Anyway, man, so let's get back to what the game is. And you guys can believe me or not believe me, but I guarantee you everything is going to fit in this framework. Everything that you've seen and heard over the sport of boxing in the last 5-6 years can absolutely be accounted for with what I'm telling you. The United States of America, boxing is huge. In Black America, it's huge because it is an individual sport. And you have an individual champion. And it is a royal sport that tells you and gives people national pride. The powers that be did not like Muhammad Ali. Let's be honest. Did not like Muhammad Ali. Didn't like him at all. because Muhammad Ali is not the good boy. Floyd Patterson is the good boy. Even Sonny Liston you can deal with because Sonny Liston, all he was is a thug and a crook, right? That's a good role for black people, thug and crook. What is Floyd Patterson? Floyd Patterson is the integrationist that marries the white woman, wants to live in the white community. He is the liberal guy, right? It works. Those champions work. You know who does not work? Muhammad Ali does not work. A black nationalist Muslim with a big mouth that's better looking than everybody and can prove he's smart, that doesn't work. So we don't want him up there. Let's fast forward to every heavyweight champion since Muhammad Ali that got any real movement in the world. They all get shut down the same way. Same way. Mike Tyson shut down. Floyd Mayweather about to go broke. But you get the drift. So anyway, no, he's not a Tank fan, bro. Look, these guys ain't fans of nobody. They're not fans of anybody. They're fans of themselves. They're fans of their argument. They're not fans of anybody. Ray Jackson is not a fan of anybody. Ray Jackson is an opportunist. Respect to you, Ray Jackson, for what you do. But brother, you're an opportunist. If somebody gives you an opportunity, you're going to take it. That's what an opportunist is. And anytime somebody offers somebody, you think it's an opportunity, so you take it and you leave the people behind you. They're called opportunists. Any opportunity they get, they're going to move on to. You cannot be an opportunist is not loyal, right? Gervonta Davis is not an opportunist. What doesn't mean that if somebody gives me an opportunity, I'm going to fuck you over. I'm going to take it. Bro, I'm not interested in you doing commercials for anybody, so I'm going to throw you out of here. All right? I'm not even interested in it. The whole crew's on the payroll. Every one of them. Good guy, bad guy, indifferent, it doesn't matter. They're all on the payroll. All of them. And some of them you can be mad at. Like, for example, BF, I'm not bad at BF because he's a soldier. My stance on best fight the best has never changed. That man is literally a soldier. And I know he's a soldier. And soldiers follow orders. So as long as I know you're a soldier and I know you're following orders, there's not a problem, which is why I've never had a problem with BF, because I always knew BF was following orders. He's a soldier. That's what they do. And I don't have a problem with that. People do what they do. I don't have a problem with BF because he's very honest about it. He's very honest that he's a soldier. Soldiers go on missions. And when they're sent on the mission, they do the mission. You should never have a problem with a soldier because unless the soldier's doing something outside the mission. I don't have a problem with the soldier. I got a problem with the general because I ain't no fucking soldier. Got me? I'm not a soldier. And I'm not a general either. So leave me the fuck alone. And I'll say that to a general. I'm not a general, buddy. I don't know what you think you are because you're a general. I don't care that you're a general. Who cares that you're a general? Leave me the fuck alone. That's what I'm saying because I ain't no general. Just like these guys tried to make me some journalist. I'm not a journalist. Journalists are for sale. Big homie said, just started the live, wild morning, wanted to support the chat. Thank you, bro. Definitely on that Haney challenge for sure. I mean, look, bro, you guys can believe me. You cannot believe me. I'm telling you, this is what it is. There is not going to be in the United States a dominant black fighter that is going to get good coverage. It's not in the national interest, according to these people. Muhammad Ali was a huge threat to American security. Black nationalist movements have always been considered anti-Semitic. They've always been considered anti-American. Whenever you have black organizations focused solely on black people, that is not integrationist, that is separatist, and it does not work with them. Nationalism does not work for internationalists. It doesn't work for them. So the PBC's model of independent black fighters running their own business, making their own decisions is not good for their system. And they will get black people to sell your ass out every single solitary time. And if you don't think $3 billion, look at Blue Blood. Look at these guys. Look at Showbiz. Look at it. They don't want guys like me to have followings. And let's be very, very clear about who they don't want to have a following. Me. Me. I ain't talking about nobody else. They don't want me to have a following. And if you don't believe that, ask Barbara D. Ask any YouTube channel that have had people approach them about not coming to my channel. They don't want me to talk boxing at all. And I am telling you more so than anybody else that you think, because I am a bigger danger to these people than anybody else in boxing is to them. I am a bigger threat, not for non-international boxing. Martin Himes Blackwell. Martin Blackwell is a bigger threat to them than anybody in boxing is a threat to them, because of the connections that I have and my ability to understand the law and my understanding of pattern recognition and my age. I'm 57 years old. I've been around this block many times. The number one person that they do not want you listening to is me, which is why they don't say they send all these niggas at me. They pay these guys to come at me because they don't want you to listen to me. And that is not related to boxing specifically. They did the same thing in business. They did the same thing in politics. I don't need Israeli money. Let me repeat this. I do not need Israeli money. I do not have a problem with Israel. Bless you. I don't need for white people to lift me up. I don't need it. Love white people, but I don't need it. You all need it. And that is the threat. Because if you're truly independent, they can't tell you what to say and what not to say. These people say they got it out of the mud. Yeah, they did. You got it out of the mud literally. You stuck your head in the grime and the muck. You did what they told you to do because you knew that's what you were supposed to do. You played your role and you were rewarded. That, by definition, is a plant. Look, brother, I'm going to tell you. If you tell me you got it out of the mud, you did everything that you were told to do, and you grew to the place that you are, brother, you're a plant. Because that's what plants do. Plants bury themselves in an area, then they grow according to the rules of the soil and the laws. And because they followed the rules and they were fortunate, they make it to the top. You know what I am, brother? I'm a weed. I'm not a plant. They call me a weed. My mentality will infect you. You let me and my mentality sit, we're going to take over the whole yard. And we're going to grow big in the directions that we want to grow. But you don't call me a plant. You call me I'm a plant you're supposed to snatch up at the roots. Get it? You a flower. They want you there. I'm a weed. They want to pull me up. I've been a weed my whole life. They can't pull me up. You can't pull me up. You can't pull me up. Hey, he said, just reminding you had a $2. Oh, I'm sorry. $10 super chat. Oh, I can't miss that. Man, child of God said facts, bro. Now, bro, look, Let me tell you something, bro. Thank you so much, bro. Herbert, thank you. $20. Thank you, bro. Herbert Johnson, I got that $20 holler too. Thank you, bro. Nah, bro, that's why they tell you. Herb said, oh, I got that star. Thank you, brother. Did you get it? Oh, you did, brother. Sorry. He said, what's up, Fanana? Been a minute. I'm just back on YouTube. I was under Herb OT before. Just came to say what's up to you in the chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you, bro. I need that, dog. I needed that, dog. I needed it, bro. Seriously. So look, bro, look, I'm telling you. Martin, but plants allowed to grow while weeds are eliminated unless you're made of stone. Exactly. Nah, bro. You can't get it up at the roots, bro. You get the metaphor though. You get the metaphor though. If they're successful, that's because they work for them. Dude, Dana White is going to clear house because Dana White is not stupid. Of all people, I'm telling you, the one guy that is not stupid is Dana White. Eddie Hearn didn't know. Eddie Hearn don't know better. Turkey Al-Sheikh didn't know better. Daniel Kinahan didn't know better. Dana White knows better. That's why when Dana White was on the stage with Turkey and Turkey tried to get Dana White to make an announcement early, Dana White said no. You know why that is? Because Dana White's not stupid. Dana White's from the United States. Dana White has been doing business successfully in the United States for a long time. And Dana White is not suicidal. So Dana White is not going to go with the bad money. He's not. You can't buy out Dana White. You can't buy him out. Dana White is going to do what his bosses tell him to do. He is going to play. He's going to go along with the game plan, but they're not going to do what you guys did. And as a result, you boxers are going to be out of money because you can't have money. Let me tell you what these guys think about you. Here's the bad news. They don't think boxers should have money because they don't believe it's good for the sport and they don't believe it's good for the fighter. Listen to me. I know you guys are not going to like this, what I say, but I'm telling you, the powers that be do not believe that boxers should have a lot of money. They don't. And in fact, they don't believe movie stars should have a lot of money. They don't believe that CEOs of companies should have a lot of money. They don't. They believe that you should just do your job and that you will be rewarded for doing a job and serving God. They don't believe in building up idols. So what they say is if we're going to go into boxing, we're going to take the money down because we don't want these young black people punching themselves in the head for a living. We don't. We want to discourage you from doing that. We want you to go and become a truck driver. We want you to be something that is productive and constructive, that really helps community. We don't want you to be entertainers and then for you to get a ton of money. And then all of a sudden your whole family falls apart. You become drug addicted. And then the money leaves your hands and it goes right into their enemies' hands. Because they know a fool and their money is soon parted. So they don't believe that they should give you all that money. They don't. It's the other people that believe that they should have examples of black people that are billionaires. Examples of black people that are world famous and all of that. So we can look at them and say, okay, we're really doing well. Look at how important these guys are. No, these people are not the same ones. They don't believe that. They believe that humanity should all be accounted for, that humanity should all have their needs provided. And it shouldn't be a dog-eat-dog situation where I have to look up to somebody. I have to look up to Elon Musk. And that every business decision has to go through whether or not it's profitable for 50,000 people. They don't believe that every decision should have a monetary value associated with it. They don't believe that. So, but they don't control everything. But I'm telling you, when you start sticking your hand in their money and you start stealing their money in order to pay fighters, they're going to say, okay, if we have to have entertainment, if we got to have boxing, you guys aren't going to make a lot of money. Why? Because there's not going to be a lot of drama around you if you're not making a lot of money. If you give these guys $2 million, 2 weeks from now, the $2 million is going to be gone. You already got a whole bunch of people in the NBA. They leave, man, 5 years out. Half of the NBA players 5 years out are filing for bankruptcy and they're divorced. Why? Because they're victims of honeypots. They get women sent at them. The women is only there for them when they get the money. They're traveling all over the place. It's a dysfunctional situation for the individuals. And then they get older, 56 years old, and they don't have any jobs. They don't have any skills. What are they going to do? That's why they give all that money to black people young. All your billionaires and millionaires are guys that are 20 years old, 30 years old, 35 years old. How rare is it for these guys to get to 80? How rare is it for them to be contributors? Or no, what do they wind up doing? They wind up being poster boys for businesses that are funded by people outside the community. So don't get this twisted, bro. The reason why boxers may start making less money is because of the criminality associated with it. And them saying, no, we're not going to give you money if you can't hold the money, because we're giving you this money and it's just going right to our enemy. No, we're going to make sure that you don't do that. Especially if we gamble and you cheat us in gambling. I mean, these are really powerful people that we're gambling. Some of these people are betting $5 million a hand. They're betting $10 million for a boxing match. And they found out you cheated them. And you're fixing the fights and you're coordinating the fights. You even got referees where a fighter is out cold, laid out. No one, head didn't even break his fall. And Jack Reese decides to let him get up and continue on with the fight. You know how much money that costs people, Jack Reese? Dog, Bill using a burner case. Dog, dude, Bill is a peon. Bill is a peon. Like nothing to him, bro. All he's doing is taking orders. Bill, man, don't leave me alone with all your shit, bro. You too small. You too small. Too small. Hell yeah, and they let that slide. That costs people money. This guy, and then here's the thing. You guys were actually propositioning guys to make gentleman bets on fights you fixed. Let me tell you what happened. They tried to gamble after they had already fixed the fight. And we already knew they fixed the fight. They then try to make a gentleman's bet. A gentleman's bet. And say, oh, we don't want to bet money. Can we just have a gentleman's bet? You're not a gentleman. No, we cannot have a bet. So they fixed another fight off of a bet that they were not even able to complete. So even though they fixed the fight, they weren't able to get the money for the fixed fight because they weren't able to bet the guy the money because he had caught on. That's when your RICOs started. Just so you know, that's when your RICOs started. Right when they tried to bet him on Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. And he was like, oh, shit. A gentleman's bet? No, I don't want a gentleman's bet. And then the fight turned out like the fight turned out. And the guy kept his money because he didn't bet. But he knew full well that if he had bet that person for that fight, he would have lost a ton of money. And he went on the advice not to bet because the fight was going to get fixed. Also, didn't you also hear other people in the boxing industry running around saying, oh, this is going to be a knockout for sure? Just like they changed their betting patterns on the fight with Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. That's because you got a bunch of little criminals trying to hit a lick. All they got to do is beat one guy, and they get all the money they need, even if it's a gentleman's bet. Because let me tell you what happens in a gentleman's bet. In a gentleman's bet, you just owe a favor. That's why they wanted a gentleman's bet. What is a gentleman's bet? A gentleman's bet is an acknowledgement that you got the best of me. Will you acknowledge that you got the best, that I got the best of you? No need to pay me any money, but just acknowledge that you got the best of me. And the dude said, oh, you want me to bet you that you got the best of me when I know that you fixed the fight? No, and he refused a gentleman's bet. Refused a gentleman's bet. And has not put a penny on boxing since then. That's when Eureka's popped up, right there. Because they went to the well too many times. I can give you all the inside information. In the fight with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, the second one, they tried to make a gentleman's bet. Very hard. Please, 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 can we bet? Can we bet? Can we bet? Dude says, no. Who do you think's going to win? Oh, I want Deontay Wilder to win. Fight winds up fucked up. Next fight they try to bet the guy on because he was warned. No, I'm not taking a gentleman's bet again. Second fight winds up where people think it was fixed. So this guy who had a fight fixed before, and I'm going to tell you what that fight was. It was the fight with Bermain Stavern versus Chris Arreola. I do believe it was that fight. After that, though, no more bets. So they tried to switch to gentleman bets. And then they went to collect. And guess where they wanted to collect the money from? They want to collect the money from the trust funds. They wanted, if they got the best of you, they want an investment in their business. Because that's what a gentleman's bet will get you with this guy. If you're cool with him and you're friends and we're gentlemen, we shake hands together, then you're my associate. Then if I got people, then you got people. We're all good. We bet together, we're friends, right? And you prove that you are right. So you got one up on me. I owe you one. So then they take that IOU that they think that gentleman's bet is, and they go about running more money out of that hedge fund, out of the trust fund. That is how they do it. That is the whole crook. That is John. You remember Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s financial advisor, the guy that testified that he got the $20 million from the Teamsters? And the $20 million from the Teamsters, $19 million, they moved $20 million into a hedge fund. And after they took the 20, they spent $19 million out of that hedge fund. So what did they get? In exchange for a $600,000 in cash in a Ferragamo bag, this man got $19 million in exchange. Right? That's the same thing that they're doing with these people's gentleman bets. They're saying, oh, okay, I want to bet. All right, well, I'll cut a bet. I'm not going to pay you any money outright, but we'll do business. We'll invest money in your stuff. And then they use that to go get the money. And then after they get the money, then they work with the promoters to get the fighters and then get all that money divided and spread out between the promoters, the matchmakers, sparring partners, all of that. You guys then run it downhill from there. But what I'm telling you is you guys are downhill from that gentleman's bet. Because this is a royal. Let me tell you who this is. This is a royal. This is a man that is a royal. Royal. Now, he didn't get his money because he was a good businessman. He got the money because it's his money. You guys are stealing from a crown prince. Not even a crown prince anymore. I think he's a king. But anyway, oh, by the way, let me tell you what he's a king of. He's a king of an area in Europe that no longer exists as a country because Napoleon reformed the Reformation. You ever heard of the Reformation? The Germanic tribes of the Reformation, they have a lot of money. but their country was broken up into Germany, Austria, a lot of different places. But they've had the money since then, and they've not lived in that area for a very long time and are incredibly wealthy people whose money gets run through the Greek banks. Very, very, very wealthy people. Not deposed, but they don't have a country, but they still got the money. Now, if you don't know what the Reformation is when the French said that they were going to break up Europe and they were going to make it into a bunch of different nation states. And these nation states had lines drawn that were totally arbitrary lines, same way they did it in Africa. But these people still got their money and don't live there. They are the kings and queens of that region. And they are incredibly wealthy people, incredibly powerful people. And you guys were hitting licks on them. Yes, you were. And Saudi Arabia was hitting licks on them. Yeah, they were. And Israel is hitting a lick on them. Yeah, they are. Because they all served to support the system that moved that money out of that trust fund into the hedge fund, out of the hedge fund, into the corporations, out of the corporations, into your hand. That is the same funnel of money that you guys have been running for a very long time because you guys don't have a country. You don't have any national resources. You don't. You don't have any national resources. Even in the country that you sit in, you don't have natural resources there either. You don't have any gold. You don't have any minerals. You don't have any diamonds. You don't have any cobalt. You don't got hydroelectric power. You don't have any of that. The only thing that you have is political power and the relationship that you have with the United States and the relationship the United States has with Saudi Arabia. That's the only thing you have. And you have the black community in the United States in the Democratic Party that consistently votes for you over and over and over again against national interests. So anyway, you guys can keep thinking I don't know what the fuck is going on and Trill Bill is a fucking idiot. I mean, Trill, you're a fucking pissant. Okay, so shut the fuck up, Bill, and let grown folk talk, bro. I'm not no street drug dealer, bro. I'm not standing on the corner selling women. Okay, that's what you do. You sold dope to kids. You're the one selling women. You're the one doing that. I'm not doing that. But for some reason, you fixated about me, and some reason you listen to every word I say. And you know why that is? Because I'm telling these boxers, if you take a penny from these people, bro, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. If you take a penny of their money, you are making a huge, huge, huge mistake. That is why these people, first of all, you already know these people are irreparable. You already know that what they do to people. You already know that they set people up. You already know that they conspire against people. That's why you think they're so tough and you're so scared of them. But bro, they can't conspire against everybody. They can't. You think they're all powerful because they told you they're all powerful. They are not all powerful, not remotely, not even kinda, not close. They're middlemen at best. The only thing that you're doing is you're leveraging middlemen, and hoping that the middlemen can pull off a hit. Those middlemen can't pull off nothing. They can't, because if they do something, everything that they get leaves. You know why? Because it's not their money. The money is in the trust fund. If they can't get that money, they have nothing. So if they hurt the person whose money it is, guess what? They can't get nothing. So they can't touch that person. That's why that person can look him in the face and say, bro, don't even act like you doing shit. Don't even act. It's worse than the Strait of Hormuz. It's worse than the Strait of Hormuz. You play with this, you're not getting nothing. And you can't play the middleman. You hear me? Because you are the middleman between this guy and somebody else. Once you are no longer the middleman, once you got caught stealing and lying and trying to gamble, You got removed as the middleman. Now that there's a new middleman, you guys have lost all your funding, and Dana White picked up your funding because this is a business. Let me tell you what happened to you idiots. You guys played around. They found out. They fired your middlemen, literally fired your middlemen. Now you can't have access to the people that you've been hating on and stealing from. And what they did was they took the money, because the money is nothing to them. It's nothing. That is not big money to them. They just took the money and said, we're going to move it over here where we know you're not going to have access to it anymore. And who is that? That is Ari Emanuel. That is Rahm Emanuel. That is Dana White. They are going to be the ones that are going to control that money and not you. And any connection that you had, an excuse that you had for that money is gone, because Turki al-Sheikh is with Salah and them. Now the Saudi Arabia doesn't even have access to the money anymore because they are stuck in a war. You get nothing, loser. Oh, I get a lot. I get the peace of mind. You said I get nothing? Oh, I get a lot. I get a lot, bro. Let me tell you what I get. I get the pleasure of seeing you hurt. Yes, I do. I get the very, very guilty pleasure of seeing everything that you clowns set up fall apart. And absolutely knowing why it's happening, know that you know it's happening, and letting everybody else know exactly what's happening. Because Eddie Hearn is done. Done. Frank Warren is done. 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 You know the ramp that we're looking at, 2 years, they're done. They're going to be putting on club shows in the UK like they should have always been doing. Get it? Turki al-Sheikh is not going to give them any more money. We know that because Frank Warren sued Salah. Because Salah is not going to pay $1 billion to Frank Warren. $1 billion to Frank Warren for some UK fights that you guys know lose money. So he sued Turkey for $1 billion. Eddie Hearn is in a war in the UK with Dana White, because Dana White just snatched Conor Benn. And now this idiot thinks he's going to compete with Dana White by becoming a manager in the UFC. Eddie Hearn is transitioning to being a manager in the UFC. You guys want to know how to connect these dots? I think I connected all the dots. I'm sorry, I think I connected the dots. The only question is, whose money was it? That's the only question. It's a Greek bank. I got it to a Greek bank. I got that shit all the way till I know full well who the investment firms are. I know exactly who the guy is that constructed the financial part of it. I know exactly who the woman is that worked for the man that did it. How you doing? And let me be a dick about it. I'm just going to be a dick about it. How you doing, Melody? How you doing, Melody? Melody, 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 Melody. Oh, that's sweet, sweet Melody. Oh, John and Melody. John and Melody. Such intelligent people. So smart. So good with money. So good with money, Melody. Oh, Melody, you're so good with money. Oh, John Rogers, you're so good with money. You guys are so smart. You guys manage hedge funds, trust funds. You guys got all kind of capital management. Oh my God, you guys got so much shit going on over there at Able. African business leaders. You know what I mean? I got you, bro. What's up, girl? What's up? How y'all feeling? You remember me? What's up, man? What's up, John? How you feeling, brother? You good? You brush your teeth yet? You still acting? You still acting? You still feeling good, bro? You still? How you liking it, dog? How you liking it, bro? You sure are good with that money, dog. If I had anybody that I thought was situated in between Greek banks, Congress, the Democratic National Party, who could come back? Who? Who is Mr. Undercover that has all this influence all over the world, but yet never shows his face on camera? It's like this guy almost never wants anybody. How you doing, John Rogers? How you doing, John? Do you think just because you're high, John, that I don't see you, John? Do you think people don't know that somebody has to do the math on this stuff, John? Do you not know, John, that where you have to be connected, John? If your mother was the former treasurer of the United States? Do you know how politically connected if you are best friends with David Axelrod? When you are just bum, chubby, all with Barack and my brother. Oh, I'm sorry, and my brother. Let's not forget about that too. Let's not forget about the family connection. Let's not forget about it. Let's also remember, where do you live, dude? Oh, yeah. No, I'm not a YouTube channel. This is Martin Himes Blackwell, bro. Nice to see you guys again. You know me. You know me. You know me, the thug. You know, hey, dog. In my family, I'm the black sheep thug. I'm the black sheep thug that's supposed to be a failure. Oh, I remember you, John. I remember. Anyway, man, you guys are going to be in a lot of trouble. All right? Because the people that are listening to this knows full well who I'm talking about, what I'm talking about. And y'all better fix that damn problem in a way that makes it good for everybody. Doesn't have to be on the newspapers. Doesn't have to be people don't have to go to jail. But you guys better stop playing this stupid fucking game. Okay? You better stop playing these stupid fucking games. All of the games that go on between the international shit, that's not my problem, bro. That's not my problem. But when y'all start dipping your asses into my business, y'all better fucking realize, bro, you can't dip in my business. I made sure you can't dip in my business. And the reason you know you can't dip in my business is because you've tried. So you're fired now. You're not going to be managing that money. You're not. The people that are coming and you're going to try to advise about how to handle the money, if they do anything that you say, bro, they're fired too. Okay? Because I know it's you. Mr. Mastermind. Dirty Tooth Mastermind. Okay? I know it's you. You. And I have never on channel said it before. Because there's a lot of people that you do business with that I like, John. There's a lot of people you do business with that I like. You better sit your ass down and start acting like you know. And get the fuck out of the way of this money. Or your ass is in a lot of trouble. And you know what type of trouble we talking about. So anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, the director's wife? Yeah. You would be surprised how rich. You would be surprised how rich Melanie Hobson got after about 2008. You would be amazed at when LA, Chicago, DC, and New York all got in the same room and they all decided they were going to do business, you would be amazed at how wealthy some of the people in that room became afterwards. She became a billionaire after that meeting. A billionaire. And she still works for John Rogers. Bro, Google me. Google me. Stop playing. And I'm out. I told you it was going to be a short one. I'm from Chicago. Everybody in Chicago knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You niggas got cute. Deuces.